What's up, everybody? Devilor here with yet another match. This is game 2 of Detriment, who we see spawning here as the purple Protoss in the northeast corner of the map, versus Ghost as the yellow Terran in the southwest corner, here on Blistering Sands. A very, very interesting and very dynamic map for pretty much any matchup, but you see a lot of it in PvT as well. This is game 2 of the semifinals. We had Ghost take the first map against Detriment, so he is up 1-0. If he takes this map, then he will be advancing on to the finals. But if Detriment wins this map, then we'll be going on to a game 3. So yeah, both players just sort of starting out, doing their thing. Got another wall in coming here from Ghost. He's going to be dropping a barracks right there. And an early scout yet again coming out from Detriment. Wants to get as much information as he can as early as possible. It's actually the first I've noticed that. I believe there's actually a mule just sitting there on that map. That's kind of interesting. Be really, really great if you could go and turn that on and use it, but unfortunately you cannot. Anyway, it looks like he is actually... Yeah, he is actually, I actually did not realize that was not a complete wall off. He's actually going to make it in here with this probe this time, be able to scout around a little bit. Looked like he was maybe thinking about heading there into the back to drop down a proxy pylon of some sort, but elected not to, and is instead just going to run around in circles here in the base. Looks like that wall is now completed for Ghost, so yeah, this probe is ultimately doomed, but he should be able to get some decent information. Meanwhile, this gateway is up for, or going up, I should say, for Detriment, getting his gas as well, and chrono boosting nothing. There we go. He's chrono boosting probes out, getting his economy as far ahead as he can. And ooh, a little bit of a gas steal going on here from Detriment, taking that gas. This is my gas. You can't have it. I don't know. He really likes gas. Leave the guy alone. He just wants the gas, man. That's all he wants. And this probe and SCV have become friends, but unfortunately they are friends no longer. So he is actually going to let that gas finish before moving. I don't know why I said before moving. He's going to let that gas finish, getting his cybernetics core up and getting another pylon up and his second gas. So he's going for very, very early 2 gas. Detriment is up here. So we will have to wait and see what exactly they decide to do here. Both players in the previous game played very, very, very passively, wanting to wait and build up and wait and build up and wait and build up, which made for a very, very exciting final climactic battle with Detriment doing his best to fight off a wall of Thors. But it made a lot of really awkward moments in the middle of it where I didn't really have anything to say. So for my own sake, I'm going to hope that they decide to do something a little earlier. In fact, we see a Twilight Council now coming up for Detriment off of 1 gateway. Looks like he's getting a Zealot out. He's going to send that down to his choke, and then he's putting a pylon up there to spot those rocks as well. But that's a very fast Twilight Council. You usually see a little bit more in the way of unit-producing structures before Protoss like to get that up. Excuse me, it looks like he's saving Chrono Boost as well, so I'm very, very curious to see what exactly he's going to try to do with this Twilight Council. He's getting a sentry out now as well. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the production tab so I can keep an eye on that. Looks like we do have more barracks coming down now. Looks like a total of 4 barracks coming down for Ghost here. I'm curious if that assimilator is too far away to actually see those. It's actually right on the edge. That's right where those barracks are. So he's being very careful on the positioning of those barracks to make sure that it can't actually see anything. And it looks like he's getting this early command center up as well. He really, really likes that quick, fast expand. However, there is a probe down there to spot it. So if he decides to move that out without killing that probe first, he will see it and then know about it. Looks like an SCV somehow made its way completely up into the main here of Detriment. I really wish he would get more, get at least 1 stalker out in the early game here to stop that from happening. But the sentry is going to slowly suck the life out of that SCV. I am curious if he managed to see that Twilight Council. He did not. He just barely missed it. This little tiny area right here is exactly where that Twilight Council is. And so now we see some more gateways going down. He hasn't done any research or anything with that yet. I really feel like he got that way earlier than he could actually use it. And he's sitting on full chrono boost as well. But I'm not gonna pick him apart too much. Tech Lab going down on this barracks here. He wants to get some upgrades. I really hope he gets his stim a little bit sooner. He actually waited quite a while to get stim last game, but he's getting another Tech Lab up as well. And oh, there we go. I need to... There it is, hidden way off in the corner here. We have a Dark Shrine coming up from Detriment. So we'll be seeing... I'm 99% positive, but yeah, he did not scout that. So we will be seeing some DTs coming out for Detriment. Ghost has been using his mules really well too, but he is sitting on just enough energy to be able to get a scan out if he really needs it. The question is going to be if he can spot that he needs it in time. I'm curious what this probe is coming out here to do. It looks like he's just heading up to this Zelnaga watchtower here. He's just going to bounce off of that really quick, and then he's going to place a proxy pylon down here. So wants to warp those DTs in as closely as he can. Let's see here. Warp gate's almost finished. Looks like he got a little bit supply block there. In fact, he's going to be supply blocked again here until this this thing actually finishes. Scan goes down, but unfortunately not nearly close enough to spot this Dark Shrine over here. We do have a Ghost Academy coming up for... There it is. We do have a Ghost Academy coming up for Ghost here. Incidentally, Ghost likes to get Ghosts versus Protoss. I think that makes a whole lot of sense. So yeah, there's that. That's cool. Factory going down. He likes getting this really late factory, and I believe he's just making that so he can get some medevacs up. And he also likes building this command center and then not actually expanding. I'm not sure why he keeps doing that, but it would be great of him to actually expand with that. I think that would be stellar. He does have this this engineering bay up now to be able to get down. It's actually going to be really handy for him. He'll be able to drop down turrets for detection, assuming that he can spot these DTs in time, which are now being warped in. So they're going to head around there. He really doesn't have too much in the way of detection, but he is pretty well walled off. Looks like they're going to try and go in through the back door, though. They're going to sit here and whack away at these destructible rocks, and Ghost does not have anything to spot that. He's getting a second factory, actually, so it looks like he is going to go for probably some Thors again. Those were pretty successful for him in the previous game. But these rocks are going to be down very shortly, and then we'll begin seeing if he's going to be able to respond to that. He does have plenty of units to be able to deal with it. Unless he decides to move out. That would actually be a terrible time to move out. But no, it looks like he's just moving his army around. The rocks are now down. Detriment should really probably move in with those, and he is going to. He's going to send one around to the front and two in the back. I like this split. He's going to be able to do some damage with it no matter what. Looks like he... Which is he going to move in with first? I should note that meanwhile he is expanding in the middle of this attack. Always very good to do that. And looks like he might be ticking up as well. There is, however, it looks like... Okay, here we go. He was trying to get that missile turret up, but was not able to get it in time. The scan is going off. Wow, he should really run away with that. This other DT needs to move in and attack. And yeah, those two DTs really a bit of a miss micro there from Detriment. He could have done a lot more damage, especially if he'd actually moved in with this other DT up front. He would at least have been able to knock down some of this front area before that was lost. There is another DT over here, very much exposed. It's actually kind of cool when they get EMP'd, they actually just completely uncloak for a second. But he's doing some decent damage. More DTs coming in from the back. This expansion is just about up and running for Detriment, so he is actually doing a pretty good job with this pressure here. Looks like he's going to move around to the front and try to put some damage on this command center. I don't think he actually... he just now barely has enough for one more scan, so he's going to need to make good use of that scan, or at least EMP. That works as well. This Ghost is worth his weight in gold at this point. Honestly, those DTs could probably... Oh no, there's a missile turret there. So he's being very safe, dropping down another missile turret up here. And it looks like the DT harass is pretty much shut down at this point. I really wish he'd actually do something with that one up there, but DTs are probably not going to be continued to be used. That was a terrible sentence, but he's probably not going to continue using the DTs for too much longer. Just wants to put on some pressure with them. So meanwhile, let's look and see. He is getting some upgrades here. He's researching +1 ground weapons, which is a very, very important upgrade for Protoss. No other tech so far, though. He's not looking to transition out of this anytime soon. Not even any more gateways. He's still sitting on 3 gateways, even though this expansion is now up and running. So he should probably be looking to get some more tech going or something sometime really, really soon here. Missile turret finishes, Dark Templar gets immediately annihilated by all these units here, and this is actually a really, really scary force from Ghost. If he were to move out with that, he would be able to put on some pretty good pressure, but unfortunately the threat of those Dark Templar is keeping him pretty confined to his base at this point. He doesn't really want to move out and all of a sudden lose everything to one Dark Templar that's snuck in the back. He is going to start moving out now, though. Looks like he feels fairly safe. He wants to put on a little bit of pressure. Looks like Ghost is going to be, or excuse me, Detriment is going to be able to spot this. He sees that it's coming. He did actually get Blue Flame on this Hellion, which is really, really strong against Zealots. He knew that in the last game, Detriment was very, very Zealot heavy, so that's a pretty decent choice. But yeah. Looks like he's going to come up here. He's going to move up here. He's going to be able to take out lots of probes here. So many probes right there. Oh, man. There go 2. Looks like another one. Oh, and they line up. Can he get another shot off? Oof, he does take out several probes there. It looks like about 6 or 7 probes. Unfortunately, his army is now split up. Half his army is down here not doing anything. The rest of it is up here getting annihilated by these Zealots. And he does have to pull back just because a little bit of a mismicro. He let his units run off chasing after those probes, and the army of Detriment was waiting for him. Zealot leg speed is just about finished for Detriment, and he does have 4 more gateways up. Needs to morph those into warp gates so he can start using them. But looks like he's going back into that. There's actually 3 stalkers back here. It makes me wonder if there was a drop or something that I missed at some point, but whatever. I'm not sure why those are there. Looks like we are finally moving out this orbital command for Ghost here. This Dark Templar is actually, I think, just barely in the wrong spot to block that, which is probably good if he just sits it there and is really, really careful and quiet. He can actually he's just going to attack it, which is probably not the best choice. Personally, I would have waited and killed some probes instead of doing some damage to this thing. Unless, of course, Ghost decides to... No, there he goes. He's going to lift it off. Moving over these... Oh, is he going to trap him in? No, this Dark Templar is just barely going to make it out. He's going to kill that probe, and the rest of these units are going to move in. Is he going to actually be able to get a kill there? Oh, he kills the Ghost. Very, very nice move. Unfortunately, the scan goes down, and he's going to have to run away, but I don't think there's another Ghost in there. No, there isn't. So he could actually move back in there as soon as that scan goes away and do some damage, but the barracks, that's the word I'm looking for. The barracks has landed, and now that is a complete wall off, I believe. I don't think you can actually fit anything through that gap right there, so he should be pretty safe at this point. Big force moving out for Detriment now, though. Holy crap, that's a lot. Those warp gates have been put to good use. Looks like he should be able to get another round of units out here very, very soon. He does still have this pylon down here that he can warp in reinforcements, and I heard a DT kill something. Where the heck is that DT? There it is! Okay, the DT was killing stuff. The Hellion killed it. Man, that was weird. I could hear it, but I couldn't spot it. But it looks like he's going to move up here. Unfortunately, the wall in at the front means that the back is completely exposed. And here come a whole ton of Zealots with charge, and nothing here to defend. He's just going to move in right here, takes out the missile turret, puts a bunch of damage on that factory, decides not to kill it. Here comes the force of Ghost moving up here. He's going to stim and try to run in, but unfortunately he doesn't have concussive shells, so he can't quite make it, or can't quite slow them down and pick anybody off in the back. And the Zealots charge in, ripping apart the Marines. The Marines are standing in front like retards, while the bigger and tougher Marauders in the back just stand around and look pretty, which is not something they're very good at because they're actually pretty ugly. So the SCVs are pulled off, but this does not look good for Ghost at all. He is just being completely ripped apart by these Zealots with charge. Zealots are just a great unit. Ghost says, ah, Zealots. Turns out Zealots hurt. Didn't know what I was doing. GG. So Detriment is going to take game 2. We're going to go on to game 3 here. As soon as this game actually ends. There we go. We're going to go on to game 3 of Detriment versus Ghost. 1-1 now. I'm going to go ahead and jump over and cast that match right now. I will see you guys in just a second.